An old man and a young girl find themselves trapped in a bathroom together. The old man, a seasoned journalist named Miguel, and the girl, Angela, had met for an interview, but Angela's intentions were more complicated than they seemed. Today, I'm going to take you through a French thriller called Mandarin 7 2011. Grab a snack, settle in, and let's dive into this gripping story. The movie opens with Miguel working on his writing in a hotel room. He's a famous writer, known for his sharp mind and blunt attitude. Angela, an aspiring journalist, arrives at the hotel to interview him, hoping to learn from the best. Miguel asks her to order something, and as they chat, he reminisces about an article he wrote years ago about a man who died before it could be published. This memory hints at the weight of the stories Miguel carries. As they continue talking, Miguel's sharp wit shines through. He tells Angela that after working together for 25 years, colleagues either grow to love or hate each other. He's brutally honest, unafraid to speak his mind, which both intimidates and intrigues Angela. When she offers him a sip of Coca-Cola, Miguel accepts, despite his doctor's advice. He jokes that if he dies from his vices, the blame will be shared between the smoking, the drinking, and the unhealthy eating. Angela shows Miguel her writing, seeking his approval. He's critical, telling her that her article is too long and lacks impact. He advises her to find her own voice, rather than mimic his style. Writing, he says, must come from within, it can't be taught in college or learned from others. Angela listens intently, aware that she's being both tested and taught by a master. The conversation takes a more personal turn when Miguel asks Angela to retrieve a key from his coat. He explains that it belongs to a painter friend who's away. He invites her to accompany him to the friend's studio, suggesting they continue the interview in a more intimate setting, free from distractions. Angela, curious and perhaps a bit flattered, agrees. In the studio, surrounded by vibrant paintings, Miguel muses about his love for art. He admires how a painting allows the artist to physically engage with the medium, something writing lacks. Words are abstract, while colors are tangible. Angela listens, intrigued by his perspective. Then, in a bold move, Miguel removes Angela's glasses and kisses her. He immediately admits that kissing no longer excites him as it once did, blaming it on his age. The atmosphere becomes charged with tension as Miguel asks Angela to undress. He tells her that if she wants to learn from him, she must be willing to give something in return. He makes it clear that he's not physically attracted to her, but he's interested in the dynamic that could unfold between them. He even suggests that whatever happens between them today might end up in one of his stories. Angela, visibly uncomfortable, leaves the room. But after some time, she returns, having made a decision. She undresses, and Miguel, instead of advancing on her, takes some paints and begins to draw on her body. The act is more artistic than sexual, though the tension between them is palpable. They are both testing boundaries, pushing the limits of their comfort zones. Afterwards, Angela goes to shower, and Miguel follows her into the bathroom. He locks the door, joining her under the water. But as the intensity of the moment fades, Angela realizes she doesn't want to continue. She tells Miguel she needs to leave, but when she tries to open the bathroom door, it won't budge. The door is stuck, a detail Miguel's friend forgot to mention. Panic sets in as they both try to force the door open, but it's no use. Angela attempts to call for help through the small bathroom window, but Miguel stops her, worried about the scandal it would cause. He's a famous writer, and being found in such a compromising position could ruin him. He explains that his friend won't return for 2 days, meaning they're stuck until then unless someone comes to their rescue. As the gravity of their situation sinks in, Miguel tries to lighten the mood, suggesting that their predicament could either be a comedy or a tragedy. Angela agrees, but notes that it will depend on how they get out of it. If they escape unscathed, it's a comedy. If her parents find out, it's a tragedy. The conversation turns personal again as they discuss Angela's father, who is in the military. When she mentions her father's name, Miguel realizes he knows him, as well as Angela's older sister, with whom he once shared a complicated past. The conversation shifts to Michael's wife, who he recalls was never fond of him. Angela reveals that it was her sister who gave her Miguel's number. Miguel recalls how he once confessed his feelings to Angela's sister, only to be rejected. The mention of Angela's sister, now a successful actress, stirs memories for Miguel, who reflects on how times have changed. Angela reveals that her sister considers Miguel an overrated writer, a comment that stings but doesn't surprise him. He quips that only an overrated writer could make a living off his words. They delve into a discussion about the value of public opinion and the fleeting nature of success. Miguel, still hopeful for escape, suggests that Angela try shouting for help again. He cynically remarks that if a man hears a beautiful woman in distress, he's likely to offer assistance. But their shouts go unanswered. Resigned, Miguel confides in Angela about the futility he feels in life, noting that as you grow older, you realize many of the things you once cared about were meaningless. Everyone has their own priorities, and sometimes, life just doesn't turn out the way you expected. Finally, Miguel asks Angela what she would be doing if she were home on this Saturday. The question hangs in the air, heavy with the realization that they're trapped, not just in the bathroom, but in their own lives, each grappling with unmet expectations and unfulfilled desires.